much working on residents being able to visualize. This is not something that was developed for the utility, although they can make use of it. We are developing this so that for the first time ever in our environment, people who are engaged in the use of energy consumption to have visual images, not only of their own consumption, but of neighbors, not anybody else individually, but the neighborhood as a whole, in terms of respecting privacy and the like. But also tied to that is actually an education program, which is to say residents can now set goals with a slider for the per month spend, and then be taken to say, I want to move my current consumption back to the average of my neighborhood. What would I have? What could I do? And that leads them through a discovery process with respect to some of the things that they can be doing in the neighborhood, along with contacts for community resources. We do the same thing in health and wellness. Instead of all of this being essentially clinically focused, which is to say all the vitals simply go back to the clinician, we're very much into a home health and wellness model here, trying to disrupt the clinical model and the economics associated with the clinical and emergency room model. And so again, that's about, in large measure, trying to make data available. The general question about whether the residents are all that interested in how much data in general, which is to say, can we create arch out of the packets that are moving through the network, is actually a project that the Cleveland Institute of Art has actually approached us on, and it's because some of the residents are actually students at CIA here in Cleveland, and I don't know that we'll get to it this semester, which is quickly coming to a close, but certainly is one of the summer projects using the data from some of our faculty.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Steve Wong with Alice Venture Associates of the Central Coast Broadband Consortium. It's good to see you.
Hey, Steve, good to see you.
First of all, this is way cool.
I'm here.
I won't go on. I'll just leave it at that. I got a couple specific questions, but I'd like to follow up on Margaret's question too. And is any of the data that you're collecting, not the individual private data, but just aggregate data, available now via the web to people that are trying to practice, or is this being closely held?
It's an IRB. It's actually a university research program, and because we intend to publish the findings, we're not going to put them up publicly until the findings are actually the data gathering is concluded. There is a separate project that this software collective inside the two blocks are talking about with respect to at least being able to use the data for things like this art project that I was just referring to. But we're currently not posting we're not publicly posting any aggregated data flows. We have MRTG drafts that I look at for monitoring the network, just in terms of making sure that it's healthy. And we probably, other than for the purposes of outlining, Steve, probably not be sharing it any time until research findings are gathered and the first presentations are made.
Okay, a couple of quick questions. You said that rents in the area were around $600 and that they've gone up. Do you have a number for that?
It's highly variable, and if you were to walk Hessler Street with me, you would understand why. There are single homes that are available for rent. There are, everything up to 32 apartments would be generous, essentially house, more look like dorm rooms or army barrack rooms. There at CSUMB, you know of what I speak. So the rents are variable. Today, I know, as I say, 10 of the new tenants, the residents who've come in, came in deliberately because of the gigabit, Steve, and their landlords were able to realize some additional rents. I don't myself actually have the numbers. We are actually just before I joined you, we were in a meeting planning. We actually have a summer festival on Hessler. You can Google Hessler Street Fair, and we hope to be able to gather some information that will be relevant to the neighbors related to rents. This goes all the way back to Alicia's question making sure that that we're mindful of the mix for rents, both gentrifying as well as affordable housing.
And you mentioned that the traditional triple play wasn't particularly relevant to that neighborhood, and can be used as an example of lack of broadband usage. Do you have any data on video and voice usage, particularly video usage? Is it a cable neighborhood? Are people there traditionally cable customers? Is that of value, or is it just kind of the broadband? Is just the broadband piece missing, or are other elements of the triple play not relevant?
There is both telco and cable services available. There is a lot of satellite dish infrastructure, DBS infrastructure available as well. And the question about why people don't have internet is probably not in their minds tied to dial tone or to entertainment. I will say that because ours is an open neutral network, we have a number of providers for the first time ever offering alternatives for entertainment and dial tone in the neighborhood. Again, on a pilot basis, they've been told there are no commitments, but subscribers do pay if they choose to join them rather than the incumbent providers. And that's because, I think we, along with a number of others, and now with BTOP, everyone who has one of these build-outs is going to have to commit to open access, at least until the FCC changes their mind, and they may very well do that.
Thank you.
More questions, comments, observations? Please, Joe. We have more folks coming up.
Good morning, Mayor. I'm Joe McKinley from Empower Next California. And
Joe.
I thought I saw in your outline that you were serving some organizations beyond, in addition to the residential. So my question is, first question, do you have plans in the future to allow access for nonprofit organizations or community-based organizations to expand capacity by access to the network?
Yeah, Joe, that was sort of the first part of the presentation, focused in on about 1,500 nonprofit organizations that are connected as public sector anchor institutions. Those go as small as the neighborhood church or community development center here in the neighborhood, all the way up to the Cleveland Clinic. Anyone who's a nonprofit is welcome to join and pay for access and subscription to bandwidth that moves from 100 megabits to multiple 10 gigs.
And so my question, second question follow-up is, what's the cost scale right now for access?
I don't know for sure. I should, as a board member of one community, get committed that to memory. I do know that the entry point for our bandwidth is consistent with the traditional T1 infrastructure, which is to say, the traditional T1 in this market was about $750 a month. I know that's high, but that is what it is when we have no competition. And so our entry-level service starts at approximately that.
Good morning, Lee Ambrose. I'm with LinkPath Communications, and I work building wireless mesh networks with utilities and cities. My question in regards to utility and the energy management is, are you seeing people using some home area network energy devices, and are those being implemented in the program? And are they also able to track? I noticed that in my line, I think it was called on the energy slide, is that what people are using to monitor their energy consumption and their neighbors' energy consumption?
That's right. I invite you to reach out to Dave Martin at Intwine. As I say, he's the start. He's the two guys in a garage story here. He started it literally, a week after he saw the case connection zone, and he got this epiphany. And it's really been driving it. We also are working with IBM Research on this activity. We have a regional cluster for smart grid, in which Dave plays an important role. We have a number of component part providers in our community, Eaton, Parker Hannafin, and they're sort of global players who have been traditionally in the old style grid infrastructure and are working to become relevant in the smart grid.
Excellent, thank you, because Santa Clara has a fairly fiber-rich community now, a lot of fiber in the ground, so it can potentially be a test case as well. So I'll reach out to those folks, thank you.
Thanks, yeah, good luck. Chip, Arlene, are we just about done?
Yes, we are.
We want,
We want to thank you, and I think we're going to continue the dialogue here in terms of what
Great.
you're doing means to us. I also want to make sure that we thank Dwayne Bible on your campus for helping us with the video feed, as well as our IT staff here, Ron Thompson, Charlie Wallace, Jeff McCall, and John Baptista. They did a bunch of testing to make sure that this all worked for us today, and I think it has worked spectacularly well. So thanks for joining us. Say hi to the family.
and.
Will do. Thanks, Chip.
Let me report all this so we get on our website, and next year we want to invite you back, members of the community, and Case Western to participate with us in the Congress.
Thanks, Arlene. We look forward to it. All the best to CSUMB.
Thanks, Lev. Take care.